Hey, hey, hey. Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays. Welcome
Happy
back to Girl
holiday.
Chat Sports with Mo and Mel. We appreciate you. If you're
We're not
watching, feel free to
hoes, by
share.
the way, out there. Just the cheery greeting of the festive season.
Look at my cool ass reindeer. Hey.
I like it. I got candy canes, I got tinsel, and I got lights,
Yes, the
and I got
tinsel. Ooh.
it's all festive.
It's all festive. Well, we appreciate you for joining in. For those out there, I'm sure could be doing some last minute Christmas shopping. Feel free to take a little break, kick back, hang out with us, tap in, join the comments, and share. Subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah,
Share with some friends. Free Christmas gift on us. There you
absolutely.
go.
I, glare. I don't even like the glare on my glasses. So, all right,
Okay. All right.
let's get into it.
Um, let's get into it. First, happy early National Signing Day to those that have signed today. I think there was a couple big flips that happened. I didn't catch all of them, but I do know that the Huskies did grab somebody that was committed to Oregon. So anytime that we can take someone who was headed to be a duck to be a dog, that's the way
Right.
to be.
That's a good strategy.
It is a good strategy. We just got to get into the World Cup and Argentina, big winners. I mean, this match was intense. For those that got up early on Sunday to watch the match, it was definitely worthwhile. Argentina wins in the shootout and the penalty kicks at the end, and unbelievable. I mean, people were on the edge of
First
their
of all,
seat.
it was Mbappe. Let's just give him his flowers because he's a previous World
Yes.
Cup winner from the French team, from Team France, Vive la France. And there's a lot of circumstances around him even getting into being on this team as opposed to his home city. Okay.
Okay.
So pretty much in Africa, you have to pay to be on certain teams. Since dad didn't have the money, France was available with no money to play. You go over there, you train, and you join the team over there. That's how a lot of them from Africa are playing on this French team. So I was Team France all the way. Okay. Mbappe within, what was it, 20 seconds? 30
Well,
seconds.
first of all, he had a hat trick. He hit three. He had three shots the
He
whole
had three
game.
shots, but he hit the first two within 20 seconds of the match of the second of the last part of the game.
Yes.
So the thing of it is that he did back to back on that was already showing me that he was a beast and deserved to get the golden boot like all day. And then it just went down to penalty kicks. I mean, this is like the final thing where we're doing like basically, what we do at the Knights games. We do these things
Yep.
and it just didn't work out. It just, but Argentina, give it up to them. Leo Messi had not won a World Cup yet. He was talking about retiring. He's got his wish on this. He's a beast. And now he announced
Yes.
recently today that he's not retiring now. He's gonna go for it again.
He's gonna keep
Well,
going.
buddy, get ready for France. Get ready for possibly Morocco. And shout out to Morocco too, because they were on me too. Like, yeah. It was just
We
a
know you
great,
love your
great
man.
match.
We know you love that. But
I
let's also
do.
talk about this parade situation. When we talk about Super Bowl parades or championship parades here in the States, like we're on a tiny, tiny scale compared to what Argentina did in Buenos Aires for these guys. They said almost 4 million or estimated 4 million people came. They were sleeping there before the night before just to get a place. I can't even like it. It's just intense. I think we have a video here too. Let me show the video because it's a lot. It's so much. Here you go. It was just a lot.
Well,
It's
it's 60
so
plus
much.
million people that live in Buenos Aires, first of all. It's a huge city, okay? Let's be
Like
clear.
how they all get there,
Secondly,
they just take transit. I mean, that's
yeah,
a
they just take transit. But 4 million people. But the thing of it is we are late to the party when it comes to World Cup. As Americans, we
sure,
need to be
of
more into
course.
this is a world sport. This is a sport that is probably one of the richest sports in the world. Actually it is. It's one of the richest sports in the world. Everybody participates. Everybody that is anybody is into World Cup or into EuroLeague soccer or anything that has to do with soccer. And this is their sport. This is their Super Bowl. This is the thing that these countries and cities watch on a yearly basis to get to a point where we have their alleged Super Bowl, you know? And shout out to Emmy Martinez because, you know, he won the Golden Glove being
Yes,
field
the
goal, but
goalie.
his antics
Mhm.
as far as the picture of gestures of obscenities,
Was
I feel like that
hilarious.
personally was a fu to Qatar for everything that went on and everything that, you know, circumvented around this whole situation and the rules, the whole fake in equality narrative, the whole all everyone's welcomed, all of that. So I feel like he was kind of sticking it to them when he won. I don't know his thoughts, but I was for the picture. I didn't really care.
It was good. I think someone even had that tattooed on their leg too.
They
So
did.
it's
They did.
hilarious that that
They
they got
did.
that going as well.
They
It's just
did.
a lot. It was really good. It was really,
It
really
was.
good.
It was
So
awesome. I mean, I woke up and I was like, "Holy moly!" Like that's literally what I said when Mbappe did the first kick. Then when he did the second one, I was like, "Oh my god, we got a match now. Now we got a match. Let's go. Let's go." Because I have picked
and
friends amongst friends, telling them. I said, "No, I
okay.
think France has it." Everybody was
Did
betting
you bet on
Argentina.
him?
Drake, no, I didn't. Thank God. I would have
Mm,
lost a ton of money. Drake bet some money on
on
Argentina.
Argentina. He put a million on it,
Someone,
got back
yeah, a
2.5.
million and got a return. So everybody was Argentina was a favorite because they wanted to see Messi. I mean, it was all about
Yeah.
Messi. I get it, but
And
I
he
was really,
also did amazing too. So he got his World Cup trophy. He
yeah,
actually has the most liked Instagram picture now, has over
over the
70
TikTok
million
girl.
likes.
Yeah, over the
Yes.
TikTok girl. Yeah. Well, you have to
Insane.
understand the soccer players. Even Ronaldo has more followers than the Kardashians. If you look up Cristiano Ronaldo and
As
see how
he
many followers
should.
he has, his followers, all the soccer players are in the close to 100 million. Because again,
Yeah.
it's a world. You're on the world stage. This is not no
Yeah.
national. Americans, we think we're the big shots. No, they're the
No.
big shots, and
Mm-mm.
they got
For
they
sure.
got the paycheck too. And Hakimi from Morocco, I'm coming for you because I love you and I have a crush on you, and I'm gonna fly to see you.
Mo's
Okay,
ready. Mo's
because I was
ready.
hoping
Mo's
for
ready.
Morocco to pull something off too. Morocco got very close, and I was watching them too. Shout out to all
Well,
my
and it was crazy some of the antics that happened during the parade. Like people, like when buses were going under overpasses, people were jumping off overpasses onto the bus, like into with the players on top of the bus. There was some that I saw a video footage where like the buses were going under like the wires, whatever power out wires, and they had to duck because they were so high up they're about to hit these wires. So the people were wondering, like, who planned this? I mean, it was a short planning, but still, it was.
I mean, it's
And they had
Argentina.
to
Let it
they had to
go.
helicopter people off the buses because the
Yeah,
crowds
yeah.
were so
It's
big they couldn't
Argentina
get to
though.
them.
This
It's
is Argentina.
wild.
This is what they do in Buenos Aires. They party. So if this is what
So
it looks
wild.
like, it was very deep. and
Yes.
I swear I hope COVID does not come knock on anybody's door because there was no social
4
distancing.
million. There was
Yeah.
no,
There was
I
no
don't even know how people went to the bathroom. Like I saw there was no porta potties, no way. They didn't have enough time to set nothing up.
they flooded the
That was going
streets. They flooded the streets and went nuts because it had been since 1986 or
literally.
87 since they won a World Cup. I mean, this
Oh
was huge
man.
for them. So
It was,
I get it. I get
I
the
don't
whole
know. One of the hot topics from the World Cup was Salt Bay being present on the pitch as if
yeah,
he were a
Merceret.
team member of Argentina, and the reactions of some of the teammates while he's trying to pose them. First of all, he had to try to like track down Messi and kept on pulling on his arm to get his attention. There's a little video we got here too. Last part, they were saying
I
that.
mean, who doesn't try to get in the mix? I mean, we've seen this before.
But
We've
I
seen
mean,
cloud
we
chasers.
haven't seen it like that. I mean, A, he's not Argentinian, and B,
First of all,
is
he's
not
not a
like
president. Usually, it's presidents and dignitaries and those that hold the World Cup.
right.
First of all, let's
We
just
don't see
exclude.
no other
But he
celebrities, and you
segued
can't
his
even
way
call him
in.
that.
Well, what other rap groupie in America don't do that? Segue in. There's people here that are
I'm
local Vegas
just,
celebrities that get in the
man,
mix of pocket spaces that I don't know how they got in there. Like, how did you even get into the
I just
photo?
be so
He did that.
confused.
He did the
It's
soul trout
wild.
chase of what a lot of people do when they get around celebrity fandom. He was definitely trying to get his moment for sure. Had no business being there for his moment, but because it was their
None.
moment, but
I mean, stay in
he
the
was there.
stands. Like, why are you on the grass?
Hey,
I
who let
just
him on the field? First of all, how do you even get? That's what
exactly.
I'm saying.
I
The
wouldn't
people
even
that can
know.
make their ways into situations. That is the biggest groupie move I've ever seen in 2022. That has to be the absolute
And then to
most
have the
groupie move.
audacity to try and track down each of these players and get their pictures, and then to be taking the trophy away from that one guy's kid. I'm just like, come on. Like, what are we
Yeah, he
what are we
was the Turkish guy was
doing?
there for the clout for sure. You know, that was undeniably that's his purpose.
Oh my
Aside
gosh.
from
It
making
was
mistakes and sprinkling gold and doing the sprinkle me thing, but he got in there. He got in there.
he sure did. He
That's
got in there, that's for
hilarious.
sure.
It really is.
Another hot topic
He did.
that I
I
saw.
mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. Um, Zion Clark. So he's what do you, I guess, paraplegic, or no, he was born without the bottom like his legs. So he was an MMA fighter.
He
He
doesn't
was
have
a
any
wrestler.
bottom legs.
He had his first MMA professional fight and won, which I mean, mind blown anyway. But here's a clip of that. I will say this. I feel like it's got to be really. I don't know where Mo went.
No, go
Oh,
ahead. Keep talking.
it's
They don't
got to
know I'm
be.
gone.
It's got to be. Well, they can't. They don't see you, but
I mean, they can see I'm clearly gone, but just keep
oh,
talking. Like if you're
got you.
audio listening, they know
But
I'm
they
gone.
couldn't. They didn't. It's got to be tough to try and grapple with him on the ground when there is no legs. You know, like you're used to having something to, I guess maneuver with and to weave in and out with your own legs. So, I mean, congratulations to
Body
him.
straight
We'll
to the
see.
mother. That's all I got to
Man,
say. Upper body straight
unbelievable.
to the mother.
Conor McGregor gave him his kudos, and so we'll see where this takes him. You know,
Yeah.
and also, Brittany Griner, she's happy to be back, of course. She's been visiting with family, friends. I think Diana Taurasi visited with her already, too. She has said that she will be playing this season for the Mercury. So
Good.
that's going to be a whole thing for her, too. I'm sure getting all the love from the fans as well as teammates and other teams of her being back is going to be great to see and great to be part of. So
Yeah, the sorority's
looking
going to be
forward
fun.
to that. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Whew. Now we got this. So I want to lead into this. I know we got Natalie in the chat here. Natalie, you might just want to close your eyes for a little while because I know this might be hard for you. But there was a huge win on Sunday, and I know you were there. Here's a little breakdown of what happened.
As the 45 breaks away from another tackle, pitches it backwards, throws it.
Oh, pick it up
to Chandler Jones in midfield. Chandler Jones.
Pick it up and score, goal. Boom!
He scores!
Come on, man! Oh, no! Let's go! Let's go! Oh! Yes!
What is going on?
You muted my mic.
Oh, no, it was muted anyway. That was amazing. Chandler Jones, we had talked about before about not really stepping up after
Well, he stepped
having
up the last 2 games. He stepped up when he shot
Yeah.
you guys too, but he actually had the best revenge play for a Patriot ex-player. Like this was the move. And it was just so exciting in real time to see that. And shout out to Nat. I don't know if she saw the play or not. She may have because she had her phone going for 2 games. So she was doing a 2-in-1. She was watching Tampa Bay. First of all, let's just even start with the whole Tom Brady gear that she's wearing without even representing her Patriots to a certain degree, except for the poncho, which I had her.
I had to talk to her about that. That was
and
crazy.
The thing of it is, I know some people may be fearful to wear their opposing teams in the Raider Stadium because they think something's going to happen. But you're with me. You can wear your Patriots stuff. Tons of Patriots fans all in the mix.
I heard them.
She had support. So I don't know if she saw it in real time or not. But she may have. But I know I jumped up out of my seat. high-fiving my fellow Raider fans. The guys that were sitting next to us, who were season ticket holders, we had just met for the first time, had left, but when they came back, it was hugs and high five. Like, that was the most exciting play. And stupid Patriots, how dumb are you on that part? And how egotistical were you to think that that lateral was going to work? With Chandler Jones been stepping up on his defense. And you could have
let me just say this.
When you easily could have taken it.
Easily. Let me just say this. Because of that play, I won my fantasy football guys league quarterfinal champion. So it advanced me to the semis this weekend only because of that play, because I was playing Derek Carr. It was tied. I think I finally won by 6 points because of one other player I had. But had Derek Carr went into overtime and thrown more balls, I would have lost.
Yeah, you would have. And I'm surprised you didn't lose when he threw that dumb old interception.
Well, no, I didn't. No, I don't have Derek Carr. I'm saying the person I was playing had Derek Carr.
Against you had Derek
so
Carr.
Had that game went to overtime, he would have won. But because it didn't go to overtime,
you had Carr.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Natalie had a lot to say. She had a lot to say. First weekend, and I tried to get her on recording for it, so I spoke for her. She was clearly upset about the loss. We weren't. We were very happy. We felt vilified in Raider Stadium, and we felt like, this
it was an early Christmas gift
to have some revenge from the Tuck rule, from losing Randy Moss, to all the things the Patriots have done to us. And I mean, it was probably one of those great games in Allegiant that you had to be there to see.
For sure. But that's just encapsulates week 15, which we'll get into more, because there was a lot of and shocking moments just within week 15, and how it's affected not only fantasy players, but playoff contentions and all of that. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. We do need to
say real quick. Real quick. I want to shout out the kid Jerry.
Yes.
Who was getting
talk about him.
Talk about him. Yeah. So the young kid, this was his first NFL game. And he's young adult, which was first Raider game in Allegiant, and didn't have quite the best experience, and was a trooper for maintaining his composure, because he was chiding about Carr a little bit, which I could be in agreement with you about Carr. I mean, it's evident.
He was throwing interceptions.
He's throwing interceptions. What are you going to do? But the fans next to him that call themselves quote unquote Raider Nation fans had something else to say, and then some, and rode him through the entire game. The woman was antagonizing all in his face the whole game. The husband had started it off as the catalyst, thinking that when he said something about Carr, he thought he was talking about him, and it just escalated into this whole thing. But shout out to this young man for never losing his composure, never ever breaking a sweat while you have Raider Nation.
And she had basically pushed herself into his own personal space throughout the game.
She was in his face.
She was in his side, was putting her arms in front of him. It was ridiculous.
She was in his face. She was in his face. Literally speaking, she was in his face, chirping and chirping. And in the interview that he did do, he did say that his mind was so focused on just the loss, he really had all that as outside noise and wasn't really paying attention to it. Yes, it was his first NFL experience. And on behalf of Raider Nation, we're very sorry. They're not in the club. I don't know who they are. We're asking all our Twitter warriors, the IG bandits, everybody.
Find these people.
This woman is, and her husband, because that is just so unnecessary. And for them to try Carr and be on Carr, but we have those Carr people like that. Those people you get in fights with, because those are the people that are all about Derek Carr and this, that, and the other. And yeah, you don't want to have no time for them. He said everything he said, and he was absolutely right. And that's it. So we're going to let it be with that.
And this was his very first NFL. This was his very first NFL game, and this is the experience he got. So this was his Cash App, or what is this?
This is his Cash App. So if you guys want to buy this man a beer for the composure, all you have to do is look up this story, and you can see the whole video play out on Twitter.
Look it up on Twitter. Well, actually, I'll try and share it onto the group. Yeah. So it's at Jerry-Edmond, EDMOND-2, the number 2.
Yes. Buy that man a beer.
Yeah.
That's
because his self-composure was beyond anything that.
But it had to be. And he explained that. Because the climate that we're in, if we did something and like me, it goes left. It goes all the way left. So he did the right thing. And sadly, those are the rules for us. We can't act amok because it comes back on us. You know, we don't get that privilege that you or anyone else gets to chide people and get away with it or do whatever the case may be. We don't get
Or
that.
even to have filmed her himself, because you never know
Yeah.
what she could have made up later. I would have been like, at least
It
I'd
didn't
film it
matter. If
myself
your
too.
allies
Like,
are
it's
standing
just
behind you and telling this lady to sit down, they should have intervened and jumped in. Like, one of those people should have just, instead of filming.
and they
sometimes
weren't
you gotta
even
jump in
sitting next to him. She literally moved over like 6 seats across an aisle just to come continue
Right.
to stay in his face.
Right. Right.
It's just wild. That's so
Yeah,
so
right.
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Um,
That's what they get.
yeah.
I mean, we got January 1st. We'll talk about it more. You know, you got San Francisco. We know what that's gonna be.
Oh man, listen, and I've told Tilly's foster Lexi, I was like, don't you get into some trouble there, because I know her. If that was a lady doing that to her, Lexi would have thrown her down the stairs, thrown her through. We'd be bailing her out right now.
Lucia Stadium jail is gonna be busy. They're gonna be busy.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
a jail in the stadium. It's gonna be busy.
New Year's Eve, you got hangovers, you got people that haven't even probably slept yet coming back to the game. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be wild.
It is. It's gonna be wild.
And I'm sure we'll have some Jugadores Locos to bring up, or at least some
I
fan
hope it's up for the
Jugadores.
49ers then. I hope it's all on Goose's squad. I hope it ain't on my squad. Because my squad, we don't do nothing to y'all.
Goose and Quan and their little
Y'all be
team
messing with
there.
us. You guys be messing with us. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So for some Jugadores, Amari Stoudemire gets arrested on a domestic violence charge against his daughter. She said that there was a slap and a punch. Apparently, she had FaceTimed or sent some messages to her mother, showed some bleeding, her crying. It's reported that maybe she had said what when her grandmother had called out to her, and he thought she was back. He thought she was back talking. We don't know the real story, but this was what he said in regards to it. Whether it's true or not, I guess we'll find out. But the fact that you even
Who called the police?
I'm guessing the mother, if after the incident happened, the daughter was reaching out to the mother about it. I'm sure he didn't call, and I'm sure Granny didn't call the visit.
Like,
yeah,
I just wanted specifics on it because, you know, back talking to elders does get you thrown across the room to a certain degree.
Sure,
so that was,
but not to the sense of you're bleeding.
We're not gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
It gets you thrown across the room. I'm not saying what he did as a man and his strength should have warranted bleeding, but hypothetically, you talking to the elders,
sure,
talking back can get you kind of on some trouble. But not to say that, you know, what he did was not egregious, because it sounds like it pretty much was, if that was the case. I just wanted to know if his story was true for clarification, if that was what really happened.
And I don't think that's quite come out really yet. So
exactly. That's why I'm like making a point. I'm like, that does sometimes warrant either overhand slap or something.
Mm-hmm.
You go something with the elders, but I just need to know if that side of his story was really, really the truth of what he made up an excuse.
It would be interesting
remember, he had
to
an
see
incident before with the son at the airport. So he's
no, that wasn't him. That was
who was that? That wasn't
somebody
him?
else.
No, that was another basketball. You're right. That was another basketball player. You guys gotta keep your hands to yourself. Keep calling.
Listen, I just know. Kente said he's a good dude personally.
And that's what I'm saying. I need to know the backstory.
Right. We need to know the rest of it.
If she really said something slick to grandma and she was testing grandma all day or saying slick stuff being around her dad, maybe she wasn't in the vibe of being around her dad at that time.
Well, you should have snatched her phone too and just kept that in-house. You know, I mean,
we're not expecting children to go and do these things, but they do now. This is the time we're in. I mean,
she was 17.
It's kind of almost to the point.
Had a mouth on her, I'm sure. You know, 17-year-olds.
It's kind of one of those things like, if they hit you, you better not say nothing. You better not. You know what I mean? I grew up in that era. Not saying my parents were that way, but I'm just saying it's different
these days. Kids know they can make one call and they get CPS there to come help them and do whatever.
Yeah. It's a totally different time. Yeah. So.
Another one. Listen, so this guy Xavier Babudar,
rest of the season.
He is a Chiefs super fan. He goes by Chiefaholic on Twitter. He's got a bunch of followers on Instagram and stuff because he's a super fan for the Chiefs. He dresses up as a wolf. He has season tickets. He sometimes goes to away games. Apparently, this past Sunday though, he was not at the away game, and people were noticing that he wasn't doing any lives or posting any pictures and grew concerned. Well, apparently, he got arrested in Oklahoma for a bank robbery and is now being held on $200,000 bail. And I guess the dumb thing is that this man decided to wear the same mask that he wears to the games to the bank robbery.
How funky is that mask, I wonder?
How funky is that whole
And then
uniform?
my other thing is, are the Chiefs going to bail him out? Because he seems like he's a good luck charm for them. So I hope they don't bail him out. I hope no one bails him out. I hope the Chiefs keep losing.
Listen, because Seattle plays there this weekend, so I hope he's still in there.
I hope he is the bad luck that we need to advance to get close. Like, I don't need none of that action.
I'm with it. Listen, I need the win. You need that loss. Like, let's make this happen. It's a pact.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we've got another interesting one. We got a whole video for this one. NFL Network's analyst, Willie McGinnis. We all know Willie. He's a Patriot, former 3-time Super Bowl champ. We see him on TV all the time. You might not be seeing him on TV for a little while. And here's a little video as to why.
So what you saw, for those that are listening out there,
yes,
subscribe to our YouTube
but you should be watching and subscribing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'll give you a play-by-play on this. I guess Willie and his entourage walked in. I don't know what the restaurant runs. Let's just say it's Mastro's or STK or one of these nice fine dining restaurants. Okay. Walks in with his entourage. There's a gentleman sitting at a booth to the right, right before he's walking in. So you're walking to be seated to the couple booths before the booth of the man that you notice or recognize. You walk past where you're supposed to be seated with your entourage. You see the man sitting in the booth, and you start pummeling him. Now you pummeled him to the point where the whole entourage is jumping in. Pants are dropped.
Yes.
Cheeks are out. Tables are flipped on people that are other
passengers are you know, the patrons are out of there.
Yes. Tables are flipped. All of that. It's just a whole melee in a narrow walkway to your table at said STK Bastro's, Smith & Walensky's, Carbone, wherever you want to.
Definitely a fine dining experience.
Fine dining
there.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that whole melee went down because he saw somebody, and it almost looked like the beating, like I told Mel, as if someone either owed you money and never ducked and dodged you, or B, talked so much mess about you that when you saw them, it was going to be on site, no matter the circumstances, and this had been a long-standing beef. Now, we still don't know.
And I'm thinking, like, did he mess with his wife, his daughter? Like, what is it that got you so heated that?
Don't even have to be it. It's like, if you talk mess about me, it's on site. If you talk mess to me on
And how do you not know that there's cameras everywhere these days? Site. Why are you jeopardizing your career? Why not just send your entourage in, like you had mentioned? Like, just send the guys in to do the job.
Because it's on site. It's on site. So when you're
but what's crazy is that he actually laid off. You saw the one guy that was in the front, the first guy, he went in until the end. Like at one point, Willie kind of went back and he started picking stuff up off the ground and like hanging back some. But the one guy was going in and did not lean up until someone came and pulled him off.
That's the entourage. That's the entourage and Goon Squad doing what they do. However, Willie should have never got involved in that, and I would love to know the real tea as to what it was. And
yes, it could have been all that tea.
It could have been a women's thing. Who knows? But these guys, they lose it over a lot of stuff. And when I tell you on site means on site, that's what it means.
Maybe it's his bookie. It could be his bookie. Maybe he owes him money.
You're triggered. It's on site. It's what it is. It's the
That's some
nature of
wild
built
stuff.
up, pent up aggression that you have compartmentalized this whole time, and you've taken in, and you like, when I see him, when I see
He was
them,
just sitting there eating his dinner and didn't know nobody was coming at him, and then boom.
I mean, it was a sucker punch to begin with. The guy was sitting down. It would have been nice if they both were able to fight, get a fight stance, and get some action going. Basically, came up from behind and got this dude.
That is so wild. I just can't. I still can't believe it. But yeah, so that's definitely a major Jugadores logo. It's wild. In some Vegas sports news, shout out to our
crazy.
Huh?
I was just saying, to your point, cameras are everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Kelsey Plum. She was on the latest episode of Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart. I didn't want to put the video up here because YouTube be tripping sometimes. But it's hilarious. They talk about the tiny MVP trophy. They talk about his toes, her feet. They talk about him coming to an Aces practice and making a little wager about who, if he's going to show out or not, or if he's going to play. So it was a great episode. It was great to see her. She's a great character. She's lovely person. They talk about her dog, her nickname Plum Dog, and did some barking, and it was good time. So if you guys get out there, get on YouTube, check out For the Cold as Balls with Kelsey Plum. It's hilarious. Also in Aces news, we got a couple of Hall of Fame candidates. Yes, Coach Becky Hammond, as well as front office Jennifer Aziz. They are both up for the Namath Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2023 candidacy. So we wish them good luck. That's pretty dope. I'm excited for that. Should be good.
Asia Wilson got an accomplishment too. Did you see that?
What did she got? The USA basketball, I think. I forgot to put that on there. Yeah.
She sure did. She did.
What was it, like, player for the? I don't remember.
Nope. Basically, what it was is she's the female athlete of the year. Give it up to my girl Asia, female athlete of the year for the USA, representing for the USA basketball team. She was named female athlete of the year for 2022.
Awesome.
So our Aces are winning right now. They're doing like some major stuff. Like,
yeah, they are.
This is what it is, huh?
And shout out to Greater Youth. Shout out to Greater Youth Sports too, because they were on the episode last week. They had the toy drive on Saturday. I wasn't able to make it because I was at a basketball game instead. But Kelsey Plum showed up. I saw one of Devontae's posts today, and yeah, so that was pretty good. They had some UNLV football players there. I think Kelsey Plum showed up, so they had a great turnout, and it was a great event for them. So
that's good. Keep supporting Greater Youth Sports, you guys. Keep tapping into their website. We posted a link before in our stories. They are going to be doing these ball drives. So yeah, community.
And if you got donations, you got to start doing before the end of the year. Get those tax write-offs and make them be heard.
Especially if one of those write-offs been changing.
Exactly. So me and Natalie went and checked out the Vegas Desert Dogs, our new lacrosse professional team, Friday night. Quite the event. Here's a short little clip of what it looked like inside the arena. They had over 7,000 fans there. I want to say it was like 7,600. We actually had to park in the employee top section of Mandalay Bay because it was so packed with just, Vegas weekend stuff as well as this. I mean, for their first home game, over 7,500 fans. It was
pretty impressive.
And so just so you know, we did snag you an extra towel. So you got your own Vegas Desert Dogs opening night towel. 3 of the 4 owners were there. Steve Nash was there, Joe Tsai, as well as Wayne Gretzky, who gave a nice speech. Cool. They got the key to the strip for that day. They were Devontae Adams was there and got a jersey. They have a cool little called the Dog House or the Dog Pound area, kind of like where like for the Aces games with the trampoline and the cheer dance team usually are hanging in that corner. They basically made it into like a lounge area where it's like there's a bar and there's food and stuff. I don't know. I didn't see those tickets on sale, but I'm assuming those are tickets you can buy. So that's kind of a cool area to sit. But it was a good time. And we left a little early just to try and beat the traffic. And that's when, because it was 4-3 when we left. By the time we got out the parking garage, I think it was like 8-3.
Wow.
So we lost. Yeah, well, we lost. But listen, lacrosse ain't no joke. Me and Natalie are trying to learn some of the rules as we're sitting there. But these guys, you're getting hit by a stick 24/7. Like the sticks are flying at you. You're getting hit heads, shoulders, knees, and toes,
Aren't they
all that.
wearing
Like
pads like football players too in the thing?
not as big as foot. No, like only the main person that has pads on is the goalie. They might
Okay.
have a couple little pads, but they're in shorts and tennis shoes or shorts and cleats, whatever the case may be. There's not a whole lot of padding there. And they're fighting too. They're like, it's a hockey, football. They say it's a cross of basketball too, and I'm not sure. That was the definition of lacrosse, that it was a cross between football, hockey, and basketball. I don't
Shout out to
know
Sean
the basketball connection, but
Ross for UNLV. Shout out to him because he used to be
okay.
that lacrosse dude back in the day. Shout out Sean Christian, one of our Girl Chat Sports members. Maybe you can post an insight on how that works as far as lacrosse, and you played for UNLV and that. But I need to know like the breakdown of how the rules are and what that entails. Like, teach us.
Yeah, we need some rules. Can we get this guy on? Because we need some extra rules.
Yeah,
Because Natalie's asking me, and I'm like, this is my first professional lacrosse game. She's Googling it. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, we know we got 4 quarters. We know that much. Okay, we know there's not many penalties for getting hit by a stick. In hockey, if you're high sticking or something, you're getting a penalty.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in lacrosse.
Right.
Doesn't happen in lacrosse. I don't.
Sticks are everything. Got it.
Sticks are everything. It's a bit crazy. So that was dope to see. Also got to go down to Mandalay or the MGM and see Chris Paul's HBCU challenge that was also here in Las Vegas. It was cool. I only went for the one day. It was a 2-day event. They only had 4 teams. I guess it's 4 teams every year. Last year was in Phoenix. This year here in Las Vegas. Not as many people as you would have hoped, but of course the crowd grew as the time went on into the second game and such. But it was a good vibe, good music. Norfolk University ended up coming away with the championship, I guess, of the 2 days event. So that was cool. And then there was a bunch of basketball here in town now, like the Tarkanian Classic is here. High school players from all over. I think that ends tomorrow. They had another one. They had a big thing over the weekend, and then they had more for high school girls and boys out here this week. And then there's also like this whole G League winter showcase that's here at Mandalay Bay. So that started on the 19th. The championship is tomorrow. And it's between the Ontario Clippers and the Windy City Bulls. And the winner of that gets $100,000. So I mean, I'm sure they've got it on the line. This was they had a bunch of games. I didn't really know this until I saw it on the TV earlier. And then, of course, the championship game is tomorrow. Our Ignite are not in the championship, but they will be back at the Dollar Loan Center next Tuesday, the 27th, as well as the 29th. And they're playing Ontario Clippers. So we'll see how that goes. And then we got our Golden Knights. They've still been struggling. They've lost 2 in a row, but they're still atop the Pacific. They're still atop the Pacific's division, so we can't be too mad at that.
Tickets are still cheap, so everybody go to a Knights game. They're cheap now.
And they're home again tonight. They're home tonight and Friday as well. So if you need to get to a Knights game, get out there now, because I'm sure them tickets, they have been pretty nice. Hopefully they can win some.
Nice. I mean, and going into the future, this is probably the standard, and it might be even less because it's so competitive of a city with all these sports going on that, throw some nice tickets.
Shout out to Andre. He said we're going to learn lacrosse, but not tennis. Tennis, we already know tennis. We know tennis.
Play tennis with you. I had a tennis racket back in the day. I used to go with my dad at Lindsay Park. Where were you?
We want to learn the rules of lacrosse, not so much play it.
I'd rather play racquetball than tennis, to be quite honest with you. If you really wanted to break a sweat, I mean, I'm sure you break a sweat. No diss to tennis. I'm just saying.
When's the last time you saw Andre play tennis, though? Let's talk about that.
Because I haven't seen it. Tennis. I'm still waiting for him to play yoga. How about that? So, my knees hurt.
Right.
Andre. Where's the yoga classes? You want to come on here and ask us about tennis? We don't want to learn about tennis. I'll watch tennis. Right. I'm already watching World Cup. It's a lot of sports going on. I have 7 fantasy leagues. You guys need to leave me the heck alone. Like I'm inundated with sports. With a work-life balance and friend balance. Like, give me a break. So now you want me to learn tennis too? Okay.
Too much. But he doesn't have any fantasy leagues. He doesn't have a fantasy football team.
He doesn't. Let's be clear. No one has 7. Nobody.
You put yourself in that.
No, I didn't. I managed 3. I'm bullied into 2 of my my fantasy leagues for football. Mel won't let me out of girl chat. The guy, she forfeited the men's one, so now I'm stuck in the men's one because she
I have
forfeited
my
that
own
one.
men's one
I
to
have
do.
2
You didn't.
basketball
I didn't
ones.
put a gun
I
to your
didn't
head to
buy.
stay in that league.
That was money. No, it's not about have to. They automatically draft you. Like you didn't tell me about the rabbit hole I was getting myself into by doing that.
Oh,
You
I
set
didn't.
me up.
Well,
So it's
no,
all
I
your
didn't,
fault.
because I never played with them. They asked if I wanted to. I said no. I never even played with them to begin with.
You
I
never
was
played with
done.
them at all?
I don't think I ever played with Pete and them. Maybe one time. I don't know. I don't think so. Blame Sarah. Sarah brought me into it.
Sarah don't have you in it now. So I got
Isn't
3 of the
Sarah in it?
footballs.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
And then I got 2 of the basketballs. You guys, enough. Okay.
Well, at
Next
least
year,
hey, you're
we're
in the
gonna
playoffs
go.
for the girls. My girls' team stunk. I'm like 11th place. I'm already out of it. At least I still have a little glimpse of hope for my guys' league as I'm in the semifinals next
I'm
year.
in the I'm in the finals for my men's. Hopefully I'll win that money. And then I'm in the finals, quarterfinals with the women's. Yeah. Nordstrom's out. I'm out with that one. They kicked my butt on that one.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
So we'll get into some football. Of course, there was some sad news today. Franco Harris, longtime Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
The man that's responsible for the Immaculate Reception, which would have celebrated his 50 years. It was we're only a few days from that 50th anniversary of this happening.
23rd. It was 1972 to be exact. And they were
playing
the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, they were playing the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Even though I wasn't born, I know that story.
Right.
That's part of the reason why
all of our Steeler fans are out there, very, everybody's sad about it, but those Steeler fans are definitely sad.
Yeah. But this is the thing. That play in itself, have you watched that play in action?
I saw it today when they were doing it.
To me, it looked like a ball hit a helmet and he caught it. So the rules back then were 2 offensive players could not have their hand on the ball unless defense interfered with it. It looked like defense had, shout out to Terry Bradshaw, who will never let it down about throwing that pass. But, it's one of those things like what happened. No one knew the rules of that game. It took 15 minutes for the refs to decide on whether or not that was a touchdown or not. Even John Madden, they had to escort him off the field because he was raising hell. See, this is where the trend started.
Well, they didn't have the play booth back then or any of that.
They made a call. They did make a call. Somebody made a call and came back and had that ruling. Who they called, no one knows to this day who was called. Someone made a call and the call ended a touchdown. Mind you, the score was 7-6 with 22 seconds left in that game. 7-6. Raiders were up by 1. And see, this is the thing that makes me mad with the Raiders, like with us as Raiders. These are the catalyst situations that trick off where we are today. That one and the tough rule.
Ouch.
And rest in peace to Franco, because that was legendary. He was one of the best running backs of that time and probably is going down as iconic, being a 4-time Super Bowl champion, all of that great stuff. But this is the catalyst that started our trend for the Raiders. I honestly believe that.
That was it. That's where history started right there. That's where the downfall.
Right 22 seconds, 1972, AFC playoffs.
Forget the Super Bowl win or anything else. It was just right there that it started.
That was part of it. That and the tuck rule. I'm telling you, that's what did it. 1972, and therefore.
Oh man.
Listen.
I hear you. Let's talk about week 15. And I think this meme pretty much sums it up. I mean, you have basically the Cowboys losing in overtime to the Jaguars. Well, the Colts trumped that, and they lost the biggest lead in NFL history. They were up 33-0. Matt Ryan pulled another Matt Ryan, and Colts lost in overtime to Minnesota with 39-36. Then, of course, you got France that lost in the shootout of the World Cup, but not to be undone by the Patriots losing in the manner they did, which we've already talked about. So that
was sweet revenge, easily. But the thing of it is with the pick'ems, and we had the pick'ems. Did we pick the Cowboys or no?
No, we picked the Vikings.
Right? We picked the Vikings. We
picked the Jaguars because I had Trevor Lawrence as well on my fantasy team.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so, therefore, that was the matrix that needed to set the tone for the Cowboys. We're not picking any Cowboys. And the conversation is now, is Dak really that dude? That's been the talk. Is he really that quarterback?
This one I thought was pretty funny too. The things I trust more than Dallas Cowboys.
So you have a picture of Ime Udoka along with my wife as the caption reads.
Yeah.
And you have Anthony Davis with the Stay Healthy caption. You have Deshaun Watson with the Keep It Just to, I got to raise it up. What does
Keep
it say?
it just to a massage. And then
Keep
you
it
got
just to
Matt Ryan with the lead.
with the lead. Oh my God. That's awful. But it's true.
Things that you can trust more than the Cowboys. And that's pretty much true. And
Cowboys
this is what,
they're going to a Super Bowl. So that's
and this is what it's hilarious that, you know, Matt Ryan lost that huge lead in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. And then, of course, these are the two, like, these are the number 1 and 2 biggest leads lost in NFL history in a Super Bowl and a regular game. And Matt Ryan is a part of both.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Matt Ryan has gotten benched this weekend, and Nick Foles will be taking his place on Monday Night Football versus the Chargers. It's his first start in basically a year because he hasn't started since last year, Week 16.
Well, I hope that works out because, I mean, I need these Chargers to go down too. And I feel like if Matty Ice is doing what he needs to do, go ahead and put him in.
Well, you know, Jonathan Taylor's out for the season. He got injured last weekend, so that's going to be tough.
Fantasy. Still won.
Yeah. And here's the deal. The Texans have taken their last 2 opponents last 2 weeks into overtime. The Texans had the Chiefs going into overtime, which is just insane. I can't.
I'm watching this Jaguars game and Colts game right now. They're repeating it. Like, it's on NFL. Like, the Cowboys game was earlier. Like, I'm watching. Or actually, it is a Cowboys game. I'm watching the game right now.
Right.
They got it on.
Oh, you're watching it right now?
Show you. They want to read this in the night for the Cowboys fan.
They want to make it worse.
They want to make it worse.
Oh man, you know, my Seahawks took an expected but not wanting to expect tumble to the 49ers. We lost Tyler Lockett. He injured his hand. He has quick surgery. They're thinking he could be back, but it's like, unless we win these next 3 games, we still won't be in the playoffs. So don't come back unless we've won these games. And Kansas City comes first. In Kansas City, where the weather is going to be cold as balls. First of all, look at the schedule. So if you are paying attention to your football bets, to your fantasy football, make sure you're aware of the temperatures that we're about to. This is going to be the coldest weekend in football in, like, I don't know, decades or something. You got the Bills at Bears with -11, Seahawks at Chiefs with -6, Saints and Browns -9, Texans at Titans 5 degrees, Falcons at Ravens 7 degrees, and Raiders at the Steelers -4. This is the feels like temperatures.
We need payback, but it's not going to happen because Franco passed away.
And the other thing too is, so the Bills and Dolphins game, they actually had to pause the game because fans were throwing snowballs at the players on the field because there was so much snow in Buffalo.
Well, the thing of it is they swept all the snow off the field, but they didn't sweep it in the stand, so you had enough. And when they scored a touchdown, they were throwing snowballs. I mean, what are you going to do?
Celebratory snowballs.
You got to do something. You got to do something with all that snow. I mean, they can't sit in it. Wet themselves the whole game. Like, come on.
So it will be interesting to see what happens this weekend. If not snow, just the temperatures alone. It's going to be tough. And shout out to those Lions. You know, this was my team from Hard Knocks. They're the only team in history since like 2014 that's went 1-6 and could still make the playoffs. They won 3 straight. It's crazy. It's although I'm mad because now we're in competition for a spot. We're both 7-7. The Lions have an easier schedule coming up for the last 3 games than we do. This is the hunt right now in the NFC.
You guys might as well just call it. You didn't expect much from your team this season.
Of course not. But here's the deal. You know, if the Lions could lose, if you know the Giants and the Commanders can lose, that would be great. I'm all for that. I'm all for all that.
Losing Commanders may have.
I mean, if we lose to the Chiefs, we still got, I think, the Rams. I forgot who the other team is that we have left, but they're winnable games.
You'll win the Rams game, and then you got one more after that. And I think that one's a juggernaut too. Take a look at your schedule.
That one up. I'm about to look that one up right now. I know I got it. Anyway.
Because the thing of it is Detroit's on a roll right now, and the
Rams, the Jets, and then Kansas City. But the Jets and the Rams are at home. Not that that's made any difference this year, but
I mean, the Rams at home means nothing, and the Jets at home might be a factor. That's the only one. That's why I said your Rams one you possibly could win. Your Jets one you could possibly use. But give
I
it
think
up
the
for
Rams we
Utah.
could win. The Rams are
The
just
Rams you
not
can
there right
win.
now.
The Jets is the one. Well, I don't know.
We'll
Baker
see.
Mayfield
We'll see which Geno is coming. Is it going to be the Pro Bowl Geno, or is it
Pro
going to
Bowl
be the
Geno's
second half of
over.
the season?
Pro Bowl Geno's over. Your Cinderella has turned back into a pumpkin. You know this, right? Because the Raiders beat you guys.
I know this,
That's
and
all
I told you
right
it would happen eventually. I was
Well,
just
it
wanting
has
to know
to.
when.
Yeah, well, it's gonna happen this week with Kansas City for one, and then it's just gonna go down from there. But you
Well,
have
we're
to know
hoping that because the wolf is incarcerated, and because we're gonna
we did say that.
We're
But
gonna
Kansas
we're
City,
gonna
that's unrealistic to think Kansas City don't have a chance
because
to win
the Chiefs have been struggling the last couple weeks too, though. Let's be honest. I mean, the Texans.
They struggle, but they win. And Mahomes is still up
Correct.
for MVP,
I
and he's
just-
paying a
yeah.
Seahawks team. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be that delusional about it.
I
I
hear
can be
you.
hopeful
I
with
get
you,
it.
but I ain't
I
going to be
got
too
you.
delusional. I want the Chiefs to lose. Trust me, I do. But I got to
Yeah.
be realistic too in my senses. I'm not about
I
to be
hear
labeled
you.
crazy on this show. When people think nuts if you think Kansas City can't beat the Seahawks. And I got Pat Mahomes on my fantasy for my money. Oh no.
I know.
I need him to at least ball out.
But here's then of course we learned about the Jalen Hurts news that he may not play on Sunday for the Cowboys. And this is the game we needed Jalen Hurts to play in to beat these Cowboys. Unfortunately, they don't care because both teams are already in the playoffs. They've already clinched
that's why I
playoff
cited
berth.
the rest factor for Jalen because Jalen was coming into that hurt thing. Why play in week 15 if you're gonna not play in week 16? You might as well have rested him in week 15 and kept it rolling because you said they weren't up ahead enough possibly, but they're still clinched in their division to do whatever they need to do. They're going to be playoff contenders. I wouldn't have played them week 15.
Well, the Cowboys weren't clinched until this last weekend, but the Eagle, it's just that's still the interconference rivalry. I'm sure people, still want to see them make that happen. But when the Cowboys did lose to the Jaguars, apparently some of the Eagles staff had sent Doug Peterson, the Jags, a bunch of cheesesteaks and fries in appreciation for their win. I thought that was cool because you can't beat a Philly cheesesteak from Philly. They got some good ones.
That and you beat the Cowboys, everybody needs to throw them a cash app for a beer, for real.
Seriously. And to any team that beats the Cowboys.
And Trevor Lawrence, for nothing, he is that dude. He is that guy.
And so now my issue now is dealing between him and Tom Brady for this next year because at least Tom Brady is going to Arizona. It's an indoor stadium. Trevor Lawrence, I think, has to go play against the Jets in New York or something, which I don't know. I gotta weigh my options before tomorrow.
You can weigh all you want to. I think I won the pick'ems last week because of my no notions.
I mean, I did too because of Trevor Lawrence. I had him playing, but I don't know about Trevor Lawrence and wide receivers catching balls when it's -6 degrees outside. Usually when it's a cold game, they're running a lot more.
What's the coldest in Carolina? Doesn't it snow there too?
Their game is gonna be in. Oh, maybe it's not on this one. Who's the Jaguars?
They get cold there too. Listen, let me tell you something. This guy's a young kid. He's a stud. He's tall. He's got a.
They're playing in New York. They're playing the Jets, but the Jets have got a good def too. I mean, they've been doing good.
They've got quarterback issues too. Who we playing? Who's starting? Zach Wilson? Is that what we're talking about right now? Okay. I'm not gonna give up on Duval just yet.
I mean, I like I said, I'm still weighing my options for those that are listening to this. If you want to reach out to me later, let me know what your thoughts are on the Tom Brady versus Carolina in Arizona or Trevor Lawrence in New York against the Jets. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call. I don't know. I don't know. Tom Brady right now. So
listen. So moving on to some NBA action, we got basically a new owner for the Phoenix Mercury and the Phoenix Sun. It's the guy there on the right. He's a billionaire. Matt Ishbia is going to be purchasing the Suns and the Mercury for about $4 billion. Of course, we know that Sarver and his issues, previous owner, his suspension with what he had going on. So finally, both teams can kind of free from all that BS and move forward. And so, hey, that's going to be a good look for Phoenix. So happy for them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nikola Jokic, this guy.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Joker's been balling. Joker has been doing things 13, 13, and 13. 40 points on Sunday. I mean.
And 27 rebounds.
So is he in line for MVP? Is it too early?
Most definitely.
You think so?
I don't know about too
It's very
early, but I think he's in line for it. I mean, if you're already making the conversation, it's never too early. If people are still making that conversation, you can
I mean, this
always.
would be a three-peat for him for 3 in a row. Now, this is Jordan numbers. Now
He'll
we
be
talking.
out there in Serbia, wherever, on his horses in the ranch, getting his trophy again.
This is Jordan levels we're talking. Jordan has 3.
I hear
LeBron
you, but he's the
and they
only the
all have
third.
championships. He does not
Yeah,
have one. Let's just talk about it. People have to vote this guy to be an MVP.
yeah.
And one of the factors is a championship ring. Will he be MVP?
Well, you don't gotta be a champion to
You
become
necessarily don't.
MVP.
You necessarily don't. But the old school
No.
were Giannis has 2 MVPs, has a chip. He's at 2, has no chip. I'm just saying, is he
Well,
going
hopefully
to be?
and the Nuggets are doing well so far, so maybe the Nuggets can keep it up and they can push them into. Here's what I didn't know. I looked at the standings. I haven't watched a lot of basketball last week. Just there's been so much going on. I didn't realize that Denver was on top along with Memphis, and I also didn't realize that Golden State was only one level above Lakers, and both of them are in the 11th and 12th seed of the Western Conference. I know Golden State has some
Yeah, but guess which one of those 2
injuries and
will go
stuff.
into the play-in because Steph's not playing. Which one will go
Yeah.
in the play-in before the Lakers do?
Oh, Golden State.
Golden State, exactly. So my
Yeah.
point being,
But I
it's a
was still
big
shocked to see that they were that far
Denver
down.
is looking really good. You guys have a dumpster fire in Chicago. We
In
don't know what
Chicago,
trades
it's
are going to look
bad.
like. So
Zach LaVine is just, I don't know what's
he's a
happening, but
mess.
apparently
Zach
the
LaVine is
LaVine and
congratulations,
DeRozan
first of all.
situation is not going on. Yeah.
Well, Zach LaVine is for himself. First of all, he's playing for his staff, had his stats, and hopefully he gets traded out. And I don't know who's going to take him. But
Yeah.
I'm saying to say, not only is Jokic doing well, Aaron Gordon is balling. I had Aaron Gordon
Yes.
the last 2 years.
Yes, he
Why did I
is.
draft this guy again? Oh, I think somebody snagged him before I could get him. But Aaron Gordon is even balling. But again, we have 84 games of basketball. This is a long season. We're only in December.
Oh,
we
of
haven't even
course.
reached the all-star break levels yet. We haven't done anything. And these players are getting hurt left and right. So I don't know. But it's nice to see Denver on top of the West like that. It's an interesting
Of
twist.
course.
It's not
Of
going to last
course.
long, in my opinion. But we'll see where it goes. I mean, if Joker could get the 3-time MVP, I'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. But I still say it's early. Yes, he's looking good on paper. Yes, his stats are there, but he has no chip. And that's the other thing of that too, is he going to win a championship to earn the 3? Kobe's
And I
at
guess
2.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
We'll
we
see how
have
that
to.
goes.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard surpassed Clyde Drexler as the top Blazer scoring title. He has over 18,000 points. He wants his flowers because I mean that's a big feat. I mean, Clyde Drexler has been holding on to that one for a while, but
I mean,
hey,
but whatever.
congrats to Damian.
Portland Trailblazer player was close to even getting that butt Dame. They hadn't had stars in years. Let's be clear.
Well, and you also got this potentially coming up this season. LeBron James is 732 points away.
years. Of course, he's coming up on Kareem.
Of course he is.
Ridiculous.
And
he played for damn near 20 years. What do you expect?
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's not unbelievable. It's not unbelievable, like I said. That's what happens when you go to the league at 18.
And play for 17 and don't tip out gracefully after a championship. You still, like being the Brady that you are, you love the game so much more than
and the ball hogging and everything else. That's how it is.
all of that.
All of that. I did want to share a video of our girl power moment. Shout out to Caitlin Clark from Iowa Hawkeyes. This girl, yes, has tied the fastest NCAA women's basketball player to reach 2,000 point mark. She did it in 75 games, which ties Ella Deladon. And this is the fewest games that it's taken to reach in the century by their men or women, which is also another huge girl power. And I also wanted to show this video of her because it really shows, it gives the girl power momentum. So here you go.
She was pretty shocked. I don't think she was really expecting me to give her shoes. She was like, for me? I'm like, yeah, for you. So hopefully I gave her a good present for the holiday season and made her happy. And I have quite a few shoes in my locker, so my teammates are probably happy that I just disposed of a pair. But yeah, so I'm glad I can put a smile on somebody else's face, and that's what this season's all about. And I hope she enjoys them and keeps them, and it reminds her of, that she can always dream to be one of us, and, that's more important than winning a
That
can
was dope.
always dream to be one of us. And that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Helping those younger kids know that there's a
Yep,
place for them out there if they put in that
absolutely.
work too. So that was really, really dope for
That
her.
is very cool.
We're gonna get to some sneaker drops real quick before we get into some picks. There wasn't a whole lot, it's the holidays. Most of the drops were either this week or they're going to be right around New Year's and the 1st of January. But I did find a few. So we've got these Adidas. These are the Forum. Why isn't this picking up? Okay. The Adidas Forum 84s is the team dark greens. These are very old school, as you can tell, but they're re-releasing them. So that should be interesting. Those will be out on the 22nd. Now these are these are kind of interesting too. So the women's, why is everything so slow? It's not, there we go. These are the women's Jordan 1 OG's Twist .2. So there's actually black fur on those, the black faux fur. If you can see
It's
it
a
on that
pony
heel.
hair. The pony hair.
Huh?
It's a
Pony hair. Okay.
pony
Got
hair.
you.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's accented on those. Those will be out tomorrow as well on the 22nd. And then you've got the the Nike Dunk Low times Concept Lobster, the orange lobster. I think I would prefer to call these the crab because I would prefer crab
Yeah,
over
they are
lobster,
kind of
but yeah, that's kind of cool.
got the white outline there.
Yeah.
Mixes.
And then you've got the Jordan 5 Gore-Tex women's. These will be coming out sometime in December. They said there's no time frame, but we've already reached over the halfway point. So they'll be coming out some point in the rest of this month. And last but not least, just a quick, these are the last release for the year, the Jordan 2 Chicago's. These will be out on the 30th. I got a few people. Our boy BS. BS has been hounding about trying to figure out where he's going to get these.
Good luck.
So, yeah, I know, right?
I got some
Well, what's
retro
crazy is they actually have a.
He can buy those. I got a pair of
You
retro
said,
too. If he needs
I don't
any
think your
small
BS is
feet.
size.
I know. But if he wants the two just to have it as repertoire, like I feel like
No, he wants the Chicago's. That's what he wants.
Oh, he wants
the
the Chicago.
Chicago's.
Oh,
But
good
it's
luck.
cool because the twos, they're releasing a lime green colorway too in the beginning of January. So looking at those ones too.
Okay. Have at it.
All right, so
Y'all.
picks. Last week we tied. So
Hey.
yes, we tied. So we're now 4-5-1. You're still up on me one. I'm sorry, we're 4-5-2. So you're still up on me a game. But week 16, Thursday night football, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Jets. Jets are favored by 1.5. This is going to be a tough one for me.
That's what I'm saying. Zach Wilson is a mess. Let me go with the Jaguars on this. I'm just going to let it ride.
Man, I don't want to pick the Jaguars until I know that if I'm playing Trevor
No, you got to
Lawrence
pick now. You got to pick now. Come on. Stop it. If I got to pick, you got to pick. Come on.
I'm going to go with the Jets. I feel like Sauce is out there on defense. I don't know. Sauce Gardner, I just enjoy him.
What are they ranked as a team?
Their defense, I don't know where they're ranked. You mean in defense? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've been good. I mean, I can tell you that. Let me look on. I'm going to look them up real quick.
I can look it up while you go to the next one. I'll pick. Let's see. Jaguars.
Jets defense. Oh, it's not letting me.
Let's see. I can look it up.
Okay. So I've also got the Falcons so here's the guys. Of course, last weekend we had Saturday and Sunday games. This weekend we have Saturday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day games. So make sure you plan accordingly. Mainly, most of these are being played on Saturday for Christmas Eve. So we've got a huge lineup on Saturday for Christmas Eve. The Falcons at the Ravens. I guess I'll go with the Ravens because they're at home, but
yeah.
You said the Ravens?
I did.
All right. We got Detroit at Carolina. This is a big game for Detroit. I do want to see them, but I don't know if I want them to win because that takes away my chances too.
The Jets are 4th in defense, by the way. So you may have
they've got a good defense.
Yeah, so that's 4th, and that was just for week 15. But I think overall they're ranked because Broncos are ranked pretty high too in defense. So
yeah,
they're right under the Broncos. So
yeah.
Doesn't mean
that's why I'm kind of like
defense can be everything, but who knows what their offense gonna do? So I'll stick with my pick.
Okay. The Lions at Carolina.
Oh, Lions.
Yeah. I want them to win, but I also need my team in the playoff. But anyways, Buffalo at Chicago. I think that's an easy one too. I mean, are you gonna ride with Justin? Are you riding with Justin?
Of course.
You want to go with Justin? Do you want
Oh,
Chicago?
yeah. I said, yeah. Did you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm not going with Justin. Sorry, I'm going with Josh Allen. I'm going with the Bills. Sorry. My bad.
I was like, you are? Okay.
No, I'm going with the Bills. I went with the Bills last time, didn't I?
No, because sometimes you've been with, no, I'm talking, you've been with Chicago before. So you were like, you were a Justin
that was
Fields
many
fan.
moons ago. I even picked Chicago
Okay.
last week. So
Okay.
they're Justin Fields looks great. He has potential, but no.
All right. The Saints at the Browns. I gotta go with the Browns here.
You know, the Browns won their last 2 games, and just for AFC purposes, are they playing in Cleveland?
Yes.
Oh, well, then we got to go with the Browns. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd pick my Saints. Saints won last week too.
Got you. Yeah. Well, is Jameis Winston ever coming back? Like I thought he was coming back sometime this season and just hasn't. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, Seahawks at the Chiefs. I'm just gonna pray for a miracle on this one. Wolfman's gone. Maybe there's some luck to that. We got 4 guys got picked up for the Pro Bowl. Maybe there's some lucky that streams into Saturday because of that.
Girl, all right, go ahead with it.
I know you're going to take the Chiefs. It's okay.
I don't want to take the Chiefs. It just makes sense to take the Chiefs.
I hear you. It's not your team. I get it.
I mean, it's not my team, but I got them on my fantasy. But the thing of it is, are you picking with your heart or are you picking for a win? Are you being realistic?
I'm picking with my heart.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the win.
That's just what it is. Okay. We got the Giants at Minnesota. I gotta go with the Vikings here. Listen, to come back from a 33-0 lead, I'll give it to them.
Well,
and I need the Giants to lose too.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that there's a possibility that this might not be the game for our Vikings.
Okay.
I'm thinking that Danny Dimes and company may come through.
You've been on the Danny Dimes for a minute.
I'd be a new fool to think that. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I'm gonna try it. But for some stinking reason, I just have a sneaking suspicion it might be an upset game. But I don't know.
We'll note that. We'll note that you were thinking. I'll put a little star next to the Giants.
You can put the asterisk by it if you want. It's either a win or a loss. I'll roll the Vikings.
All right, we got the Bengals in New England against the Patriots. I'm sure the Patriots are pissed. They want to win, but the Bengals are
a contender, and actually Joe Burrows is in the contention talk of MVP.
He made the Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Believe it or not. So I'm going to roll with Bengals.
I think I got to go with you there too. I don't see Bill and the squad rolling through this one. All right, we got the Texans at the Titans. I kind of feel like the Texans.
And luckily, the Titans win. They don't have they're out. I mean, both these teams are out. It's just null and void. But I'm gonna roll with the Titans.
All right, same. All right, we got the Niners and the Commanders. I am hoping for the Commanders to come in there and just toss some folks around.
That is not going to happen. Christian McCaffrey
could be the upset. Listen, Christian didn't have a whole lot a whole lot of yards against us. It was mainly
doesn't matter.
It was just Kittles. It was all Kittles.
Team for the NFC. This is a Super Bowl contending team for the NFC. I am not about to miss the 49ers. I hate that you have to hear this, but that is the truth.
Sick.
And so I am going with the 49ers on this. And I hate to do that to you, but this is a realistic thing. These guys are bound for Super Bowl. Like, we're not gonna play no games with no Commanders.
I can't hear that. I can't hear that.
I know you can't. I know you can't.
I can't hear that.
Audience, I know you can't, but I have to be realistic. This is the Super Bowl looking team right now, and you think the Commanders are gonna? No, come on, no way.
I'm hoping for the worst.
Miracles. I would love a Festivus miracle.
I like miracles. It's Christmas. Believe in the spirit.
Honey, they have turned the tide, and they have gotten all cylinders running.
All right, we got the Eagles at Dallas. Of course, you heard the news. Jalen Hurts may not be available, so we're not sure about that. I'm still gonna roll with Philly. I don't know. It's Minshew, right? I think it's Minshew. Gardner Minshew, isn't he?
Starting for them?
I believe he's the backup for Philly. I feel like, or who's he the backup for?
Let me look it up.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
Yeah, he's the backup in Philly. Maybe he's going to do it for Mike Leach. See, if Gardner Minshew comes in, he's doing it and pulling all the stops out for Mike Leach, who was his former coach at Wazoo. This is how it unfolds, the Christmas miracles. Okay.
Dallas got embarrassed last week. They want revenge.
Of course.
I don't want to pick this. I really don't want to pick this. I don't want to pick the Cowboys. I really don't want to pick them, but I feel like I have to. Just because Jalen.
Okay.
Right.
It's at Jerry's house too, so I mean
that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, they're not about to. They have embarrassed their fans before in Jerry's house, but I don't think they're gonna let this rock.
Listen. The way you can't trust Dak.
And Dak really has to prove himself if he's in that conversation, because sometimes they're always saying, "Well, it's not Dak's fault because Dak is still that elite quarterback." The line's fault and all this stuff. We're gonna see come Sunday.
Yeah.
So
all right, you got the Raiders at Pittsburgh.
I picked the Raiders for this.
In the cold.
I know. I picked them for it. But now that Franco has passed away, sadly, I feel like
they're going to go all in.
It's going to be that game because we're coming up on the 50-year anniversary of the reception and all of this stuff. I really want my guys to step up. Who knew that Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, I remember I was saying that they showed up for practice, didn't know if they were going to be on. I actually put Darren Waller into my fantasy league on time. Put him in the rotation. Got mad points off of him. I just don't think he's going to have the best game out there in Pittsburgh.
The frozen tundra.
And bet the Raiders, but I know it's Pittsburgh just because. And I said the S.
Well, I'm going to go with Pitt, but I hear you. Hey, you got to go with your heart sometimes, and sometimes it comes out. It did. You know.
I mean, I know I'm not realistic picking my Raiders, but this is the situation that we're in, and we would love to
we do. It's what we're fans before anything.
We are, and we would love to be 8-8 after this game instead of the 7-8 we're sitting on. So this 8-8 will put us right at the 500 mark. I think we're almost there. You know.
All right, we got the Packers at the Dolphins. This will be the first time I think that Aaron Rodgers gets to play in some nice weather. So I know he's looking forward to it. The Packers did win against the Rams Monday Night Football this week. Can Aaron Rodgers keep it up against the Dolphins?
Dolphins got the cheetah.
I know, at home.
I have to go to Miami, but I don't trust.
But the Packers still have a chance for the playoffs too.
They do, and they're going to be hungry. And I feel like the Packers could win this game, honestly. And the cheetah, though, I love the cheetah, but I don't trust Tua. Let me put Green Bay down. I'm just going to put Green Bay down, make it interesting. Maybe we'll tie up for the wins.
I got it too. All right, we got Denver at the Rams. Listen, if Denver is playing Russell, they'll probably lose. But if they play whoever played the last two games, they'll probably win. I don't even know if Russell is back in it or not.
They haven't said if Russell's starting or not.
Because they won their last two games without him.
They did.
And my thing is, put Russell in so that my draft picks can still get better, because the more they're winning is keeping my draft picks only in the top 15. I want to be top 5. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The way they've taken so many L's, they're going to get the draft picks anyway. So, and you guys already bargained for a draft pick, so you're going to get ample picks, but they'll just probably get, top tier. I don't know. I don't want Denver to win, and I don't like the Rams. This is a lose-lose for me.
I just feel bad for Bobby Wagner. Like, he should have just stayed with Seattle. He could have had a better record. Can you believe the Rams went from championship to this in a matter of a year?
No one thought they were coming back anyway. They shouldn't even been there in the first doggone place. I didn't even see it then. But it should have been the Bills playing them anyway, and the Bills would have won. I don't know. Yeah. I don't like this. One bit. I don't like.
I'm gonna go with the Rams just because.
I'm God.
What you got?
Denver, because it doesn't even matter at this point. Let's just roll.
All right, we got the Bucks at the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Bucks because I need Tom to put those points up and throw it down.
And the Cardinals really don't have much to lose, and the Cardinals are just pretty much done for the season anyway. So Might as well. And Tampa Bay's done for the season too. They're not going to any kind of playoff contention either.
Well, no,
So,
Tampa Bay's #1 in the NFC South. They're 6
yeah,
and
but that's
8
the
and
worst
#1.
division in the NFC. And if you look
Right,
at the
but they're
Rams,
still able to be in the playoffs because they're the top of their
I think
division.
they're in the hunt, aren't they?
No, they are #1 in their division. Let me get the picture for you again. That's what's so sickening is that with a losing record and you're in the trash division, now you can still make the playoffs. There we go.
They could, but will they?
Look it.
Oh,
They haven't
God.
clinched, but they're the top of the league. I mean, they're over the Saints and the Falcons and the Panthers. Look at the NFC South. It's a shit show.
It's the worst division in the league. And even if they do make it to the playoffs, looking at everybody else from all the other divisions, they're not going to go any further than that.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'll just pick Tampa Bay, just
okay.
because I got Mike Evans and all those guys on my fantasy league still for the
All right.
last.
We got the Chargers at the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I need Mike Williams to give me some more points.
But I know the Chargers will win. I said I don't want the Chargers to win, but you know they will win. So I got to pick
your pick.
I guess.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right, y'all. We want to wish everybody.
None of this stuff going on in the AFC West without our Raiders. I just don't like none of this AFC stuff going on. I really don't.
Listen, I'm on a similar page with you right now, but I just, that's why I can't pick the Niners because I can't. It just can't happen. Anyways, we wish everyone a safe and Merry Christmas. If you're out at Christmas parties and Christmas festivities, don't forget to take an Uber and Lyft and drive. Don't let the holidays be a reason to get into any kind of trouble. So we appreciate you for catching
all my Jewish brothers and sisters from yesterday. They celebrated Hanukkah. So I hope that was wonderful and safe for everybody. I got to recognize the religion of that, or their religion of that. But yeah.
And we thank you. And if you're catching the end, just hit the replay or go to YouTube, subscribe to Girl Chat Sports. Yeah. And we'll see y'all next week.
Maybe. If not, we'll see you in the new year. I'm just putting it out there.
All right, y'all. Bye.
All right.